Well, she won't use.
Grapes.
Hello. This is a one-man show.
You're not a man.
You're a woman.
This is a one-woman show. Hi, Stacy. I'm not really going to be by myself. We made sangria, which you'll hear about later, probably. And Matt and Mama Sandy are getting that ready for us. Is this one mine? Thank you. Matt, before you sit down.
Move over, baby.
Hi, Adam. Well, I was going to ask you, can you bring that tray over so I have something? Never mind. I'll just hold my drink.
We're super prepared.
We're not really, but that's okay. Oh, Reno, get down. Get down.
Can you guys all hear us okay out there in YouTube land?
Okay, now you can get up.
There we go. All right. So we've got Adam here. I said, Kimbra, that couch. And Mike is on. Hello.
Who's El Federal 01?
I don't know. Are you
Well,
new?
welcome.
Or
is it somebody with a YouTube that we just
yeah.
started?
Hello.
Cheers.
Hi.
This is from our week's exploits. This not really homemade thing. I mean, we didn't make the wine, but
I haven't. Have you had a sip yet?
yeah, I've had several.
Oh.
Have you had a sip yet?
Ooh, this is good.
Mm-hmm.
Does it need more Sprite?
I mean, I'm good with it.
What do you think?
It's good.
It's good. Yes, Adam, we are home.
We are. We've been out and about, which is kind of what we're going to talk about in this podcast. So it's going to be, we're going to talk a little bit about some exciting cruise news that's going on. And then we're going to really focus on some just fun Florida stuff that we've been doing because we've done a lot since last Friday.
We have done a lot.
So we're going to kind of go on that.
Longtime subscriber, just never talk. Well, welcome.
Yes, absolutely. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you for talking.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us. So yes.
Oh, Adam was out celebrating the good cruise news. Yes. I'm so excited. We paid our cruise off today.
We did. We'll probably say that again.
We probably will. Yeah. But
yep.
yeah. So as long as nothing crazy happens between now and September 18th.
I wish you wouldn't have said that out loud.
I'm sorry. This is Matt's mom. This is Mama Sandy.
Hi.
My mom went home Wednesday.
We sent her home.
Well, we didn't send her home. She's leaving for Hawaii on Sunday.
Do you guys eat the fruit in your sangria? Like,
apparently you do. Did you put grapes in here?
Yeah.
They just fall to the bottom or something?
They go to the bottom.
Okay.
That's like, I think that's like the best part of sangria is the fruit.
Right.
Yes,
soaked.
Adam.
I think so.
I will put that on there. We're waiting for the other half of her room to pay, and then I'm going to do it all at once because I thought that was easier. But yes, I will definitely update that. Yeah. Texas is, they're opening next month. Oh, Charlie says hi.
Hi,
Hey, Charlie.
Wish you were going with us.
Yeah. There's still rooms available. Wink, wink.
Look, just tell Bev, take a long sick day, sick week.
Mike says eat the fruit. Soak in alcohol a day in advance.
Mm-hmm. Yes. 100%.
What?
Eat the fruit.
Eat the fruit.
Okay.
And we didn't soak it a day in advance. We only soaked it like an hour in advance.
It's about an hour and a half.
Okay. An hour and a half.
Yeah. He said, don't tempt me. That's our goal. We are tempting you.
Yes.
How many pins does Matt have now on his hat? He's got 2 on this hat.
Hang on.
Yeah.
I didn't put them on yet.
Show off your new fun. He got a new one. So he got this Gariel one. And then this one here, he got Nope, I want the other side. This one here he just got. It's the Scotchness Monster.
Yeah, I don't know if I had that last. Which side is it on? Am I doing the right side?
This side is the Scotchness Monster.
Okay. All right.
And the other side's the Gharial.
And then
Gina's on. Hi, Gina. Mike said he needs to send you a hat pin.
oh, cool. So I found out that I'm actually a Ravenclaw. I thought I originally tested as a Slither. We've been to Universal
You're just gonna set this down where you're supposed to sit.
for a second here. Is this in focus?
No. Move it closer.
Oh no.
No, well, just put it there and leave it there for a second. Move
All
it
right.
closer. Move it closer. Closer. Get up close to it. There you go. And then leave it there for a second.
It might be too close.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
not
it's
working.
not
Never mind.
working.
I need
There
to,
you go.
like,
That you had it for a second.
There?
Just get it off of my face. That's the problem.
Yeah. It just can't. Nobody can help.
There you
with
go,
that
there you go.
beautiful face. Here, let me just. So
Perfect.
anyway, I'm a Ravenclaw, and then I got a How to Train Your Dragon pin. So I haven't put those on any hats yet, but I've got 2 new pins. It's very exciting. That was a lot of effort for that, and that kind of failed.
Charlie said August 29th, you can be sick too for 6 days and 7 nights.
Oh, there's so many cruises.
I know. I was talking to Adam earlier about cruises, and I said we need new jobs so we could just cruise whenever things become available.
We also got Fizzing Whizbees. You want a Fizzing Whizbee?
Not right now. I'm going to drink my
Mom,
wine.
you want a Fizzing Whizbee?
Later.
Okay, I'm gonna have a. This is if you never had this. It's a Harry Potter thing. It's basically it's a chocolate bee with Pop Rocks in it. About before the podcast.
So while he's eating that, for anybody who has not joined us before or doesn't know how this works, if you just want to listen to the podcast, skip everything that you just listened to, including the next 5 minutes, and at 9 o'clock, which
You won't know because you'll be watching it in the food
right,
club.
but in 5 minutes approximately, we're going to start the podcast. At that time, we're going to do about an hour of podcasting. For the most part, we're not going to interact with the chat unless we interact with the chat, which may or may not happen. And then after that hour, we'll roll the credits, and then we'll hang out and chat with the live studio audience some more.
No more wine for either one of you.
I've had 2 sips.
Yes, Adam, that is killing me because if I go on any ship right now, Celebrity Edge is what I would go on. It's like my dream ship to sail on.
Did you read what he just said?
But yeah, unfortunately, I don't think I'd have a job.
So I have one employee, and she actually just put in her notice during our vacation time off. So when I come back, I've got 2 days with her, and then I'm solo on my job, and I don't think I can hire someone and get them trained in less than a month, unfortunately.
Stacy says hi, Mom.
Hi.
You probably can't hear the Pop Rocks popping on my tongue right
do.
now. You hear them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear it?
Probably not. At least that's not the camera. It was the microphone. Because that would have been really gross if I did that to the camera.
Yeah, don't do that.
Where you going, baby?
He's not comfortable. What's wrong? Reno, get down.
Where you want
Reno's just camera shy.
Yeah, no, he just...
So, Adam, my mom is from St. Louis, Missouri, which is where I guess it's obvious that I'm from there as well. But she now lives in Lynn, Missouri, which is this tiny town that's a little bit out of Jeff City, which is also a tiny town, but it's the capital of Missouri, and no longer in St. Louis, but still Missouri, or as I like to call it, Misery. But yeah, so that's where she's from. So she's down. She got in. Mom flew in Thursday night.
Yeah.
And then she's staying until Wednesday morning. So it's great because, of course, I haven't been able to see her since the world shutdown thing happened. So, she got...
year and a half.
Yeah, she got vaccinated. Yeah. We got vaccinated. Things are starting to get back to normal. And so she's able to come down and spend a long time down here, which we are loving every second of. So it's a good time.
So we have 2 minutes. Any last minute things?
Mike, could you hear it? That's awesome.
Yeah. So, what's up? You've got 2 minutes. Tell me about your life.
Me?
No, them.
Oh.
But you have less than 2 minutes now, so like 3 words.
I could be like a puppeteer with this black shirt on this. The couch is navy blue, not actually black.
Yeah.
But
the dog's gonna knock over the camera.
Yes, he is, and he's gonna be in big trouble.
Has the aquarium loosened mask rules? It has. So basically, the rule is if you're not vaccinated, you're required to wear a mask. However, because we're in Florida, we're not allowed to ask vaccination status. So we're going on the honor system, which means nobody at the aquarium is wearing masks except employees. Employees on the floor are required to wear masks. And then in the back areas, if we're vaccinated, we don't have to. You're pulling there.
Sorry.
It's fine.
I'm trying to dog-proof the setup here so that the camera doesn't go crashing down in the middle of the podcast.
Adam has had 5 martinis tonight.
Hey!
My mom
We need to
misses
catch up.
us.
Aw.
Miss you too. Looks like the dragon.
We would have
is
made
gonna get
room.
Mom and
Look,
Sam.
Tammy.
Yeah,
we would have made
could've made
room.
you in.
I mean,
We can add you in. I can send you
we
the
got
link.
we got Reno on the couch.
That's
so,
right.
I mean, we could definitely get a human in here.
We picked this picture because it specifically looked like it was going to eat her head. No, that's not true. That's not true.
Did you hear what Mama said?
All right, it's time. Are you all ready?
Yep.
Are you all ready?
Reno? You ready?
Am I ready?
Come with me, we're going on a fantastic cruise. Pick your destination with news, tips, and reviews. But here is an item you might not have thought of. All of the things under the water. Nature surrounds us with elegant features. You can't go on a cruise and not see the creatures. So let's make some magic, let's get ecstatic. Instantly classic, maybe romantic. The wildlife around you, cinematic on your fantastic cruise.
Bonbini, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Fintastic Cruising. I'm Matt.
And I'm Kimbra.
And that's...
My mom. I'm this. I had wine. What can I say?
She's her own mother for the science
I'm
fiction.
your mother.
And welcome to another episode of Fintastic Cruising. This is not going to be a normal episode. Look, last week we skipped a week for the first time, I think, ever. Maybe.
Yeah, because even the 1 week that we sort of didn't do an episode, we still sort of did an episode.
Right, but look, we had to do that because we got to see our moms, and we haven't seen our moms in a while, and we were like, family first. So we did that. And my mom's still here. Unfortunately, Kimbra's mom had to go back, but she's here in the chat.
That's so she can go to Hawaii on Sunday.
That's true. That's true. My tiny violin is playing.
Right.
But no, seriously, we had a lot of fun. And so the last time you saw us, we were doing a special cruise-a-thon for Helping Hands for Cruising, which is still something you can donate money to if you want to help people that may not be able to cruise otherwise have that opportunity. Link will be in the description below the show notes. Go over to the Fintastic Cruising community on Facebook or check out the Down Under Cruisers. So just look up Helping Hands for Cruising, and you will find the links if you'd like to do that. The number 4, that's right. But yeah, so today, this podcast, we are going to mostly be talking about what we did this week, and because we had a lot of fun, but it was not on a cruise ship, although there have been people on a cruise ship this week, but we had a lot of fun, so we're going to talk about that. But first, no, we're not the Cruise News podcast, though that is already covered quite well by other podcasts, but we are going to talk about a little bit of cruise news because there's some exciting things happening every week for the last probably 4-5 episodes, at least 4 episodes. There's been more positive than negative news in the cruise world, and that continues today. It continues today. And what is the news today, Kimbra?
The conditional sale order from the CDC is gone.
At least temporarily.
Yeah, for now.
It's gone.
Hopefully, yeah. So the Florida and CDC have been going back and forth, and I guess Florida has sort of won.
At least for now.
For now.
For now. And what does that mean? It means that it sounds like cruises that are supposed to start in the upcoming weeks out of the state of Florida are going to be able to go. When there was a little bit of question about whether that was going to be able to happen. Sounds really good, like they're going to be able to go. And yeah, there's still some things to work out on the back end. We don't know exactly how all this is going to play out, but it gives us an opportunity to cruise and gives us time to sort out the other things so that we can get just cruising back to normal again. Don't we all want to be? Look, I'll be honest with you. I am not normally a person. Let me change that. I am not usually a person who is in favor of anything being normal. Okay, that's not who I am. I'm the art kid. I'm the weird art kid that you went to high school with. Okay, I'm the one that played Dungeons and Dragons and dyed his hair blue when it wasn't cool. All right, and
earring when it wasn't cool.
Yeah, an earring when it was like, oh, now it's just like everybody's now what's the George Carlos and now the squares are wearing earrings. But anyway, but look, in this case, we all want normalcy to come back so we can get on with our lives and start enjoying things again. Number one, cruise it, because that's what we're all about, right? If you're watching this podcast, except maybe Kimbra's mom, then you are here because of your love for cruising, and she'll get there. Just give her time. She'll get there.
We're working on it.
We're working on it. But yeah, so that is super exciting. We are stoked, and yeah, this is pretty breaking news too. This just happened
today?
Like later this afternoon,
Yeah.
I believe, is when this all came down. I saw Tony from La Lita Loca did a little video on it. That's how I became aware of it. And then Adam sent us a message telling us about it. And yeah, so it's real. It's a thing. It's not the Scotchness monster. I have a pin for this. Anyway, yeah, so that's the cruise news. Is that all the cruise news? Well, I mean, we can talk about.
We talk about our cruise news.
Well, first,
no.
I did mention that people are cruising right now.
Oh, you want to talk about that one?
Yeah, right now there are people on a cruise ship that are, and that, look, I know there's been people on a cruise ship, but not, as we found out today, in North America, because
I knew that.
Apparently.
So the first cruise out of North America left last weekend. It was last weekend, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Last weekend. The Adventures of the Seas out of Nassau. They come back, I think, tomorrow.
Yep.
Well, tomorrow in current time. If you're listening later, it's tomorrow in your past.
And if you're in Australia, the United Kingdom, we're not even going to try and figure out when it is.
No, it's tomorrow as of where we are right now in this time, sitting on this couch tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah, but anyway, so it seems like it's been a really successful cruise from everything that we've seen and heard. And that sounds really good. Yeah.
And that one was 100% vaccinated cruise. So they didn't have the masks and the social distancing. They had we're going to serve you at the buffet thing, which I'm not complaining about that. But there were a lot of people on that cruise. I know Nautical Nurse Nancy and her husband were on there. Of course, La Lita Loca. Well, Tony was on there. And of course, John Klekowski was on there.
Para
DJ on there. Who else?
Cruisers.
Yep. They were on there, and then we know some other people that were on there too.
Nick Cassell.
Nick has dabbled in the creator space.
Yeah, he's the one that put the video of something.
It was a
hotel
review of.
Was it in Nassau?
Yeah, it was in Nassau.
Yeah.
It was really well done too.
He took a pretty long trip to St. Thomas too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're hoping to get Nick on here soon.
Yeah.
Nick, if you're listening to this. Because he also went scuba diving in Coco Cay.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got, okay, so I got so many bones to pick tonight. First is this. We were talking about, she said, this is the first cruise out of North America. And I was like, no, it's in the Caribbean. It left out of Nassau. That's not North America. Come on. North America is a continent. Those are little islands. Well, she looked it up. Apparently that's North America. I don't know why.
Yeah, the Caribbean and Greenland is considered part of North America.
I could buy Greenland. I can't afford it, but I can understand Greenland because it's a big land space.
So then I said, Well, Hawaii is part of North America and its islands.
Yeah, and then she said Central America is part of North America, and I was like, what? No, you can't say Central America is part of North. Those are two different things.
No, it's all part of. There's South America, and then the rest of America.
Well, then is like ABC Islands part of South America or North America?
Are they in the Caribbean?
I guess Southern
If they're
Caribbean.
part of the Caribbean, then they're part of North America.
But they're like, you could throw a football if you weren't me and hit Venezuela from Aruba
if
or
they're
something.
part of the Caribbean,
Anyway,
they're part of North
I
America.
thought I understood geography, but apparently nothing is true for me anymore. But look, there are cruises. There is a cruise ship sailing right now. Right now, there is a cruise ship that has been sailing in the Caribbean, North America, apparently. But so that's exciting.
Yes.
That's exciting. I had another bone to pick too. Oh, I know what it was. We watched some of Pero DJ's videos today because, of course, these people are like producing videos as they make them, whereas Kimbra and I make a video and then produce it 3 years later. And we didn't been together that long. But so Jay is insisting on calling Coco Key, and he's being very persistent about that. We're gonna have to talk to him about that because
she said, well, it doesn't rhyme, and he said perfect D at Coco Key.
Right, and I thought, oh, okay, and then I went, wait a minute, perfect J
at
Coco K.
So
so that doesn't work so much, guys. All right, so we're gonna have to try and get them on here too, so we can talk about that and nothing else. We're just gonna spend an hour talking to Para DJ about keys and Ks,
K.
just in case.
My name starts with a K.
It does, but
So-
but it doesn't sound. It's not K, isn't the?
No.
Yeah, if it was like, well, there's only one way to say Matt, isn't there? Matt or Matt,
Mott.
Mott.
Hello, Mott.
Mott. Nobody says it that way. Nobody. It's not a
I'll
thing
start saying it that way.
anywhere, ever. So anyway, look, the other thing is, if you're listening to this podcast on the day that it comes out in the United States, it is Father's Day. And I totally forgot to say, we talked about saying Happy Mother's Day, I think, on the Mother's Day.
And then we didn't
and
do
then
it.
we totally forgot to mention it in the entire episode. So I apologize, Mother.
I might forgive you.
She might forgive me. It's just my mom. She has to forgive me.
She doesn't have to.
It's written into the mom
I
code.
always do.
But we'll say it now. Happy Father's Day, and there's something that'll help us remember that later on in this episode. But now, let's talk about what we've been doing.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You go ahead.
I go ahead. So, well, today is Friday,
All day.
which means we have had a week
Mm-hmm.
with moms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mom and moms. So what, you got here Thursday night?
Mm-hmm.
Late. So we came home and went to bed. And then Friday, we went shoe shopping.
That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Why did we go shoe shopping?
Because I broke my shoe at the airport. I wouldn't stay on my foot anymore.
My mom was listening to some Jimmy Buffett. She blew out her flip flop. She's just trying to get in the mood. Just trying to, go with the flow. No, yeah, she damaged her. Oh, thank you. It's empty though. But she damaged her shoe, so we had to replace that. So we went shoe shopping.
Yeah,
Which was fine.
it was good. We kind of hung out, didn't do anything too crazy because later we were going to the airport to pick up my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, much later as it turned out.
Well, yeah, she was delayed like almost 2 hours. And we got to that side of town about 2 hours earlier. We're like, okay, this is great. We're going to go to a couple stores. We'll run over to the airport. And then she's like, I'm delayed. And it's like, that's fine. We'll just go to this other store. And then she's like, I'm delayed. It's like, okay, we'll go to this other store. And then it's like, I'm delayed. It's like, let's go to the cell phone lot and sit and wait.
That's what we did.
That's kind of what happened. But that's fine because she got here. All was well. And then we went and had dinner.
Yeah. So yeah, it turned out to be okay. Although we pretty much blew out every single possible place we could go to waste time.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Like all the stores. The only thing we didn't do were dive shops.
Yeah.
And I think it's just because we knew we weren't going to buy anything. So
We didn't even buy anything at the stores we went to.
No,
We
we
didn't
went
buy anything.
to
Even in the
Blick's
art
Art Supply. Yeah. Did you know how
We
hard
went
it
to the
is?
container store. We went to the container store so I could buy Reno a new travel food container because his broke, and I didn't even do it.
Yeah, and that's actually why we were early, because we had to drop Reno off at his dog sitter,
Mm-hmm.
and we did that. We did that at a certain time, and then we were halfway to the airport, and we are like, well, let's just go. Anyway, it was fine. We had fun, and then we picked up your mom,
Mm-hmm.
and then we went to the pub, and had a delicious meal. That's
It was
at
really
International
good.
Plaza. If you're ever in the Tampa area and you enjoy British-ish themed food,
British food.
if you're actually from the UK, you might be like, nah. But if you're American, then you're like, oh, they have bangers and mash and fish and chips.
Well, but I do have to say, I ordered a Boddington's. They've got signs all over this place for Boddington's, and they're like, we're out of Boddington's.
That was disappointing.
And I'm like, then take your signs down.
Well, I mean, they aren't permanently out of it.
I know, but
They do have Young's Double Chocolate Stout on tap, which is one of my favorite beers.
it was good.
Yeah.
I drank somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
good.
You ordered one, and
I
then
did.
I drank half of it.
Oh, you drank a quarter of it.
Okay, I drank a third of it. But anyway, and I think we got burgers and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was good. It's good
Yep,
stuff.
burgers and stuff.
So that's not very British, but it was really good food. And then and then the next day we went.
Well, let's actually talk about my mom's fear and her overcoming that. So my mother
Oh yeah, that was big.
is terrified of snakes.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And she actually got a hotel because she's like, you have snakes. I am not walking through your door. I can't do it. And we were like, why don't you come over and see how it goes? And she did. And she hung out, and it was awesome.
And let me just say that is a testament to how much she loves her daughter, because this is not like I don't like snakes. This is like a legitimate like fear, like a phobia. And so she's been adamant that she was never coming into our apartment while the snakes were here. But then she did.
Mm-hmm.
And she did quite well.
And came back again.
She came back a second time.
Right.
And
So
third
kudos to you,
Yeah.
Kimmy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was good. Yeah. All right.
All right.
Then the next day,
we went to Tarpon Springs.
and if you've never been to Tarpon Springs, it is in North Pinellas County. So if you're not familiar, the Tampa Bay area is basically Tampa, and then you go across the bay and you're in Pinellas County, which is St. Petersburg, Largo, Clearwater, a few other little things. If you go to the northern part of it, you end up in a place called Tarpon Springs, which is a very predominantly Greek place, like city. And so they have what they call the Greek fishing village, which is kind of a little touristy area, but it's based on the fact that a lot of Greek people immigrated there, and then they did a lot of sponge diving. This is like deep sea helmet diving with the heavy feet and stuff. And they I think they still do that to some degree, but they've really turned it into a nice touristy area. And so there's lots of fun in some unique shops. There's some touristy, typical, I've seen that same print design with 5 different places printed on it. But there's some unique stuff and things that they do really well. Like there's a family that makes soap that is really good, and they have a shop in a couple other places in the area, but really good. But of course, the crown jewel of going to a Greek village is the cuisine, because, oh my God, it is amazing. Like there's Greek food everywhere. So restaurants that serve everything from saganaki, which is flaming cheese that they set on fire and say opa and then put it out with a lemon, to your gyros and your souvlaki and your baklava is dessert. Your spanakopita, thank you.
Falafel,
all the good stuff. And then you have like your baklavas and your cokes and all your Greek desserts that are just delicious.
Yes.
That was Italian, not Greek. I don't know why I did that. But yeah, so that was a lot of fun.
Yes.
It was.
We walked around there. They're just really cool. There was one shop that had these amazing sculptures of an octopus, one of a shark, one of a sea turtle. They're like resin cast, but it's like a stone resin. Like I picked one up as I was reading the sign that said, please do not touch or pick this up. So I stopped, but it was heavy. Like it was really heavy, but it just really beautiful.
Cool.
And like, it was amazing because it was like artsy, but it was still very detailed realism. So it was sweet. So that's what we did on Saturday. And then,
sorry, I thought I had a picture of that, but I don't.
You did too.
So that's okay.
Okay.
We'll post one in the Fintastic Cruising community. Yeah.
So Sunday,
if anybody wants to buy it for us, it's like $300. That's, and I'm sure shipping is like $300 because it weighs 300 pounds. Anyway, I'm just kidding. Don't really buy that for us, but not that anybody. But anyway, yeah, go ahead. Keep going.
Anyway, so Sunday, why are you poking me?
Because I'm just trying to get you to talk.
I don't.
It doesn't do it.
Sunday, we headed to St. Augustine.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yes.
Sunday, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Yes. I opened my eyes, I bushied up my tail, and we walked out the door.
What?
I don't have a tail.
You don't?
Yeah, ponytail.
What's that thing that keeps hitting me in the face when you walk by? Oh, yeah, ponytail. No, look at this. If you're watching, ponytail. See, she's a liar, this one. But just kidding. So St. Augustine is about 20 minutes, 30 minutes south of southern Jacksonville. Mm-hmm. If you're ever cruising out of either Cape Canaveral or out of Jacksonville and you're looking for something to do to kill 1 to 3 or 4 days.
I think three days is kind of perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do it in less or more, but 3 days is a really perfect amount to spend in St. Augustine. And there's lots of little, there's lots of different areas, but there's one main kind of street.
St. George Street.
Yes, St. George Street. It's walking only. There's no vehicles, although it used to be a street way back when. St. Augustine is the oldest city, oldest town.
They call it the oldest city that's still in existence in the United States.
So it was like the first one ever or whatever. So it's real cute. There's a bunch of little, like the souvenir shops and stuff, but it's real kind of oldie feeling. Yeah.
Some of the buildings there were built in the 18th century. And then most of the newest buildings were probably barely into the 20th century. It's like the place that we stayed, which was right kind of off of St. George Street. And it was a little house that had a shop underneath it. And there was like a little apartment thing that we stayed in. And I think we looked that up, right? Your mom looked that up, or you looked it up. I looked it up, but I didn't. I think your mom found it.
You looked it up.
I didn't find the answer.
You didn't find it?
No, I think I'm pretty sure your mom did.
I don't know. I was playing the game on my phone.
It was built in like 1900, so it just barely made it into the 20th century.
Yeah.
But it's like that. It's quaint. There's a ton of history there. There's a fort. There's an old Spanish fort there.
Tons of good food.
There's lots of food. There's
haunted cemeteries.
Yeah.
The ghost tours.
We didn't do that this time, but we were there last fall or the fall before last, and did the ghost tour. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, the food there, this is a problem. Like Kimbra and I have been dieting since like Thanksgiving. That's just gone out the window for this trip. I don't know. I'm still in the same belt notch. So I feel like I haven't done too much damage.
I haven't gotten on the scale and I won't. That's not true. I did get on the scale like after the second day and I'm like, I'm not doing this again.
But everywhere we've gone has been food focused.
Yeah.
Tarpon Springs, food focused. St. Augustine, food focused. I mean, we went to the Pirate Museum. That was fun.
I like the Pirate Museum.
And it rained. We were going to do a boat tour thing, but it rained. So the weather was a little for us, but we still had fun. We actually got caught in a torrential downpour.
We did.
On the trolley system there. That was terrifying and fun.
Yeah.
It was fun, except for the lightning that was felt like it was hitting all around us.
I mean, you look out in the distance and there was like straight down streaks of lightning. It's like, that hit something.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the wine that we're drinking some sangria. We got that from the San Sebastian winery.
Which has, I think there was only like one wine that I sort of didn't like.
And you can do a free tour at this place.
Yes.
And you get to try probably 10, 12 wines.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. At least 9.
9 wines, and then if you pay, you can try 2 or 3
I added
more.
those 2.
Oh, you had those 2. Okay, so
Yeah.
So 6, 7
But it's
wines.
like the pay is only $5.
Yeah.
And you get to try 2 wines, and then they had this sangria that, of course, we loved, so we purchased and brought home.
Right, and that's a lot of fun, and Kimbra loves their wine, and then right around the corner from that is the St. Augustine Distillery, which is basically they do gin, they do vodka, but their real bread and butter is bourbon, and they make a pretty good bourbon. I've talked to people that are like meh on their bourbon, but I think their bourbon's pretty good. And they'll make you a few drinks for free as well. You can actually you get their rum drink that's got a mixer. You get their gin drink that's got a mixer. You get their vodka drink that's got a mixer. Right, that's there too, the vodka.
Uh-huh.
And then you get their old fashioned, which is a mixer with their bourbon. And then you can try. They've got like 3 different bourbons that you can just try.
Well, you can try any of it.
Oh yeah, you can try any of it again, just straight.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I just my mind goes right to bourbon.
They had a rum that was finished in a port barrel.
That's new.
Yeah, that's new.
Good.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, that was quite tasty.
Yeah.
So, and then there's also they have another distillery on St. George Street that does they do some flavored rums, which are fine. They do
some the whiskeys.
They do a couple whiskeys, flavored whiskeys, which were flavored whiskeys. They were what they were.
And they have moonshine,
which is surprisingly
it was good.
Good. Yeah. So they have so that's good. And that's all free too.
Yes.
So
and then there's also the chocolate factory.
Oh yes.
The Whetstone Chocolate Factory.
Oompa, loompa,
so we did a chocolate factory tour. That one was not free. But I'd say it's reasonably priced, and you get quite a few samples of chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What was that one? $10?
I think it was $15.
$15?
Well, there were 4 of us. 10 or 15. I don't remember.
Something like that.
I didn't pay for it.
I had to wear a hairnet, which was awkward because I don't have any hair. But, I mean, I would have had to wear it on this, but this is gone right now. So I put it over my hat.
It was delicious.
Yes. What was
Not
your
my
favorite?
hat, but the chocolate.
The chocolate.
Which chocolate?
Which was
The chocolate.
my mom's favorite chocolate was the chocolate.
I love chocolate.
Which was your favorite chocolate?
Interestingly enough, it was that key lime chocolate. I'm not a huge key lime fan, but that was like the specialty chocolate they had at the time. And I was like, wow, this is amazingly good. So that was probably my favorite that I can remember off the top of my head. But
mine's still out there on the kitchen counter.
I know. I've been eyeing it.
It was given to me.
It was, well,
No.
hope you don't fall asleep before I do.
So I like the first one we got. It was the dark chocolate with the caramel, salted caramel.
That was good.
That was good.
That was good.
I'm not a dark chocolate fan,
No,
but
I like the
it was
chocolate better.
I'd
All
say
of their dark chocolate was really good.
one of them I was like,
The
this
last
is
one?
too dark chocolatey for me. But
Yeah.
but the other ones, they were still dark chocolate. Like I wouldn't be buying those for myself, but I could eat them. And normally dark chocolate, I'm like, whoa, this is like what most people probably think black licorice tastes like. So that's my one taste I haven't like got an acquired taste for. Like I was thinking about this the other day. Like I have acquired taste for all the things that people only like if they acquire a taste for it. Like, well, not all the things. There are some things I don't, but like blue cheese, I love blue cheese. Black licorice, I love black licorice. Ginger, I don't know if that's as much of one. I had some other things I was thinking of too, but I was like, but dark chocolate, I didn't get that one.
I love dark chocolate when it's wrapped around a Mounds candy bar.
Okay, I mean that helped. The coconut
It's the only
helps.
time, yeah.
Coconut can help, but I'm still going to go for the almond joy
Oh yeah,
because I'm nuts.
but just plain dark chocolate. No.
Yeah.
I like dark chocolate, but that key lime one was. I mean, I like salted caramel, so that's why I went for that one. But that key lime chocolate was like it shocked me how good it was.
I might take it back.
Well, you can.
I won't.
We'll just go buy more. That just give us another excuse to go out to St.
Really?
Augustine.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
Our wine's almost gone.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, yeah, if you live or anywhere near St. Augustine, definitely go and check it out. Like I said, we were there for 2 nights and we
About
of course
2.5 days.
Yeah. And so, we did a lot. We've been there before. We went before. I've been a couple times. So actually we've been a couple times.
We've been once.
No, we went up there with Roy and Amanda.
Oh, that's true. We've been
there.
a couple times.
So there's a lot. Like you could literally, if you did everything and most of it's eating, you could spend like probably a couple weeks up there.
Oh yeah.
We ate at a restaurant. If you go there,
Oh, yeah.
there's some pizza places that we went to that are supposed to be really good. They were good, but the place that we ate at, which was outstanding, was Prohibition Kitchen, which I had eaten there once before, but yeah, oh man, it
my
was
gosh.
so good.
Yeah, the
So
burgers.
good.
So I'm not a big burger fan. Like I like some burgers, but if they're like burgery, then I don't like them. These burgers were like melt in your mouth, deliciously amazing.
Yeah, you had a burger too, Mom, right?
Mhm.
Delicious.
It was good. And I actually am a burger person, but I didn't get a burger. I got the it was a grilled cheese with what do you call it? Brisket. It was a brisket melt grilled cheese. And that thing was like, I didn't have to chew it. It just dissolved
Yeah.
in my mouth. It
That
was
place was
so
amazing.
It was.
so good. And then of course, the last day before we went and traveled back to Tampa Bay, we went to the happiest place on earth.
Disney.
No,
Alligator Farm.
Alligator Farm. St. Augustine Alligator Farm. You all know me. I'm a crocodilian nerd. Like, that's my jam. I love crocodilians. They're the only place on the planet other than one place in Madras, India, that has all 23 to 27 species of crocodilians on exhibit, and including my very favorite, the gharial. The gharial, the gharial. And not only do they have dad and 2 mama gharials, but they have baby gharial, Makara, who just turned 5 years old and was out where I could see it. And that was like, awesome.
So I would have to say, after the experience that we did while at the alligator farm,
Oh yeah, we had a little bit of fun with that too.
it's probably the happiest place on earth for me too.
Tell us what you're speaking of.
We did a Galapagos tortoise experience, which was 20 minutes of heaven.
Yes, you might want to elaborate on that a little bit.
Turtle heaven.
Yeah. So we got to go hang out with the Galapagos tortoises and pet them and be with them and love them.
Scratch them under the neck. If you're
They
not-
love neck
yes.
scratches. You go over to them and you start scratching under their neck, and their heads poke up real tall, and they just be, and you just, it was wonderful.
So, yeah, if you're not familiar with the Galapagos tortoises, they are the largest tortoise. There's another species that's almost as big. They're huge. Like, if
500 pounds.
500
huge.
pounds,
Yeah.
and when their head is sticking all the way up, it can be like 4 or 5 feet off the ground. These are massive tortoises, obviously from the Galapagos Islands. They live forever. One of the tortoises there is 110 years old. The oldest living one recorded was like 170 something years old. That one was living over in Australia Zoo at the Irwins, which I saw down on the cruisers there. Hello, and everybody else that's joined us in the chat. But yeah, this was cool. And so we did this experience. It was $45 total. Not per person.
For up to 5 people, $45
You could
total.
You could take your own pictures, plus you got 2 5x10s.
Either 2 5x7s or
Sevens.
1 8x10.
Included in that price.
Included.
And you could and then you could buy more if you
additional
wanted.
pictures are only $5.
Right. So
You can take as many pictures as you want.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. If you're not in the Fintastic Cruising community on Facebook, go there because we posted some pictures. If you're not friends with me or Matt, we posted some pictures. So if you haven't seen the pictures, go look at the pictures. If you want to see the pictures and you don't know how to find those pictures, let us know. I'm sure we will figure out how to show you the pictures or go do it yourself because it is 100% worth it. I told Matt I would have paid $200 to do that experience.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Absolutely amazing.
I mean, we get to pet a sloth all the time, so it was really cool.
I would pick the tortoises over the sloth.
Right. I used to work at a place where I was able to interact with the Aldabras tortoises, which are
the
second largest. And I have got to interact with the Galapagos, but it was really neat. And just to see them, they like, you don't think of a reptile. Most people don't think of a reptile as something that like really positively interacts or reacts to human interaction. I mean, I know better, and we know better because we have one. But yeah, these tortoises like they saw you and they were like, "Come on, scratch my neck." So
it was
my
awesome.
back.
They loved it.
So cool.
Yeah,
So
we loved
very
it.
cool.
It was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. So then we came back.
Well, we went to the lighthouse.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the lighthouse. I didn't see it. We went up. How many stairs did we go up, Kimbra?
219.
219 stairs. Not 220, mind you, because that would have made sense, but 219 stairs. That's a long climb.
Yes.
This is why I'm
There were
still on
some
the same belt loop.
platforms.
There were. Yes, there were. But it was.
We didn't rest too much though. We
No.
went almost all the way up without
No.
stopping.
We're passing like 12-year-olds who are like,
I
and
don't
we're
know if
like,
we did that.
just so they don't know.
Oh, yeah, we did. Yeah.
Yeah, there was like an Olympic athlete there. They were like, oh, I don't know how you're doing it. Anyway, it was cool.
It was cool.
You get up to the top, you can kind of peek in the little. It's a functioning lighthouse.
Yeah.
Still,
it was cool to see the
Beautiful
thing
going.
moving around.
Yeah.
I don't know why my arm gets so warm when we do these. Like half of my body is soaking. now.
I know. Yeah, I can feel it. It's the
I'm
one
sorry.
touching me.
I'm sorry. I'll pull it out so it's not getting so wet.
It's
But anyway.
fine.
Anyway, so then we headed back.
Then we headed back.
Came back over here, hung out, had a nice evening with the moms, and then you had to get up at 3 in the morning?
3:30.
3:30 in the morning. Take your mom to the
Take my
airport.
mom to the airport, and then I went to the gym for an hour
Yeah, because she's crazy. No. Then she waited around for like an hour
and a half.
and a half, and then went to the gym for an hour, and then she came back, and it basically destroyed her for the whole day, which happened to be my birthday, by the way.
I'm sorry.
She was wiped out the entire day. So, but we still had fun. What did we do that? I taught a class. I kind of worked.
Yeah.
I taught from home. I had to teach a herpetology class. So,
We kind of hung out for the day and recouped from our St. Augustine.
Right.
we did not. Somebody's asking in the group, did we see any ghosts in the lighthouse? No, we did not. Although if we would have kept marching up more stairs, we might have become ghosts in the lighthouse. I don't know. But that was fun. And then we came back. Your mom went back to Indiana, and then the next day we kind of rested, right?
Wednesday, yes.
Yeah.
We literally just talked about that.
We did. And then yesterday, because I don't know what day it is, yesterday we went to Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure.
And
Which
walked
was-
6 miles.
Which, yes. And that was a really, we had fun, but it was a terrible idea because I don't know what's happening right now in Florida. Like we had to go to Walmart today. We went to Publix. Like there are more people in Florida right now than normal, or they're just waiting in lines more. I don't know. It was
the
weird.
lines are insane.
We waited an hour because we bought passes. So my mom could have just walked in. I don't know what all these other people were doing, but we had to wait an hour just to get our passes at the ticket line.
We started timing people. They only had 6 windows open.
Instead of the normal
Well, there were 12.
24 that potentially.
Yeah, something like
Open.
that. There were only 6 windows open. And at one point we started timing. Each person took like 3 to 10 minutes. Some of them took like 15, 20.
Yeah. You're buying tickets. What are you doing?
It was crazy. We walked up there. We waited an hour and 15 minutes. We walked up there.
hour and
We were at
15
the
minutes.
window for 1 minute.
1 minute.
1 minute.
Because we were like, this is who we are. This is what we're doing. Here you go. Boom, done. If it would have been like 1 or 2 people, you go, okay, something weird's going on. But what were all these people doing? We don't know. We don't know.
It's crazy.
And if they were just buying tickets, why did they just do what we did with my mom? Bought them online. You just walk up, bloop, done, you're in. You don't have to wait in this hour and 15-minute line.
I do have to say one thing I think Universal was understaffed. We
Definitely.
realized that as we were walking through the park.
Oh, yeah.
But
Definitely.
they need a spot for pass holders to pick up their pass, because if we hadn't already bought your mom's ticket, I think we would have left.
Oh, we would have. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because it was hot, and I'm like, my mom's sitting there waiting, and I'm just like, this is not cool. Like, we were frustrated. Plus, we had to pay for parking, even though our pass includes parking.
We were like, we're going to get a refund for this. By the time we were done, we just left. It was like,
and then we tried to get food, right? And like the line for butterbeer, the line for food anywhere was like exorbitantly long, and there was no reason for we went to a place just because we were like, this is the shortest line we can see. It had nothing to do with what they actually offered, and so we get in this line. And we're like, it's a line of about, I'd say maybe 8 to 10 people.
Yeah.
Right. So we're like, that's great, because other places where it's normally you walk in and you say where you want to go and you get in a little line, it was like there was a line getting into the place. So we're like, okay, this will be all right. Well, we must have waited in that line for probably 20 minutes.
At least, yeah.
He moved like a snail.
Yeah. And the people in front of us are talking to him, and he's like, yeah, people just don't understand. It's hard back here with your one person. I'm like, dude, I'm going to shock you with something so you start moving. Like, I'm coming back there, and I'm not the fastest person in the world. I'm coming back there and making some hot dogs. But anyway, we still had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was really cool. And
And you got to see Diagon Alley.
yes, she had never been to the
Yes.
Universal side since Harry Potter's been
No,
there.
the new side. I rode the train from the one park to the other.
And we had some really, despite the insanity of humanity, we had some really great experiences, especially on the train, meeting families with kids. And it was very exciting. And my mom, of course, she's friendly. She talks to everybody. And so,
Especially children.
Yeah, especially children, which isn't not in a creepy way, but it was fun. And so we had a lot of fun. And then we came back.
We came back.
And we passed out because we walked 6 miles. My mom walked 6 miles.
She's a trooper.
Very slowly, 6 miles.
Hey, but
Yeah.
6
Wasn't
miles.
not all at once, but still.
Yeah.
I mean, my feet were a little tender. So
I woke up this
know.
morning a little achy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
but we did it.
we did it.
Yeah.
We did it, darn tootin'. So today we just relaxed. We got the lizard set up. We got to take the lizard in to get microchipped. We may do that tomorrow. We may do it next week with an appointment. Not sure. But we had to get a harness for Luna, the lizard.
Which is the cutest thing in the world.
Yeah, I'll grab, if you're listening, I apologize, but and you may have seen pictures if you're part of the Fintastic cruising community. But this little
Tiny.
harness here, and it's adorable. I mean, so
It's bright pink, and she's perfect.
she hates it. With every fiber of her lizard being, she hates it.
She'll
but
get used to it.
but she just has to. She's a tegu, and so in Florida they banned tegus after we got her, but she's getting grandfathered in, and so in order to do that, we have to have her microchipped, and we have to get this free permit for her. So that's the only time she'll probably have to wear this harness, or if she had to go to the vet or something like that, which hopefully she won't have to do that very often, if ever. But yeah, so that's kind of what we did today. We were going to go swim in a spring and just kind of soak our tootsies, but it was kind of cloudy and rainy today.
Mhm.
So we didn't. We just relaxed, and here we are now.
Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah. We had more Greek food
Oh, yeah.
We did.
at Acropolis.
so
I don't know if
good.
Mike's still in here, but we went to Acropolis with Mike. Who else did we go to Acropolis? We went to the Mexican place with Stacy, who's in the chat.
Yeah, and we did dance. We did Dats with Dave and Brandy.
That's with Dave and Brandy. Yeah. But
Yeah.
if you like Greek food and you're in the
Oh,
Tampa
the
Bay
best.
area, I mean, the Greek food in Tarpon Springs is amazing, and there are some things that are better, but there's also some things that Acropolis has that we didn't get in Tarpon Springs, like this tzatziki garlic dip
for your
and
pita bread.
that
Ugh.
you get for free when you get there with, it's like your bread and butter at a steakhouse or something. Oh,
Flaming
man.
cheese is better there too.
The Saganaki.
Oh my gosh.
Do you like the Saganaki at Acropolis better?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, see, we liked
Oh,
it
I
better
like it
at
better.
Tarpon Springs.
Oh no.
But it's,
loved
I mean, it's
But
kind
the
of like
souvlaki is better at Acropolis.
the souvlaki's
The
better at
souvlaki.
Acropolis.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, I like the gyro better at the one at Tarpon Springs we went to, but I like some of the other stuff. Yeah,
It's all
It's all good.
It's all good.
Yeah.
None of
Yeah.
it's bad.
no, it's like, would you rather go on this cruise or that cruise?
Right.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes,
Yeah.
please. So yeah. So there you go. That is
That takes us up to our current
position.
and then we've got a few more days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I don't know what we're gonna do for all of them.
Probably
but-
nothing quite as intense as what we've done.
No, I think we'll
tenseness
take
is
it a little
done.
more easy.
Because we got the weekend, and maybe we'll try and get to a spring on Monday or Tuesday, depending
Yeah.
on the weather. And we're just gonna have some fun mom time and just relax and hang out and all that kind of stuff. But
We'll be together in September.
that's right, because we did pay off our cruise tonight.
We did.
So that means that we have now 2 cruises paid off in full, 100%, ready to go. One in September on the Carnival Horizon, one in November on the Scarlet Lady. And we are super excited about
So
it.
ready to go.
Mm.
Yeah. So that is exciting news. We are, and with the cruise news today, it just makes us think by September, come on, I know I shouldn't say that out loud, knock on wood, but they got to have it together by then, right?
Yeah. Well,
Oh.
and one of the things is one of the ships that's planned to go out in July is the Carnival Horizon.
That's correct.
So
My only concern is that we're not going to get to go to the ABC Islands, which will be okay because it'll still be a cruise. It'll still be wonderful, but I really want to go to the ABC Islands. So I'm hoping that gets to be a thing that still happens. The other cruise we have though in November, that's pretty much a good to go because that's going to Bimini, which is the one we're super excited about.
and a lot of the Carnival cruises
All of a
that
sudden-
have changed.
Yeah, all of a sudden Carnival's going to Bimini.
Yeah.
So that's cool. And then Dominican Republic, which is great, but if they switch that one up to something else, I'm not going to really be upset about that one. But yeah, so that's exciting
Lots
news.
of good things.
And now I think you know what it's time for, Kimbra.
I do. Do you know? Do you know?
Cruise creature.
All right, so since we are celebrating Father's Day this weekend, I've been holding out on this cruise creature since the Cruise Geek days. I've been wanting to do this cruise creature in honor of Father's Day since the first Father's Day that I did as Cruise Geeks, but it's never worked out. For one reason or another, it's never worked out. But today is the day. And the cruise creature we're doing today is,
The seahorse.
that's right, the seahorse. Why the seahorse? Why the seahorse? Because seahorses, like my favorite animal, the gharial, are amazing fathers. Now, not in the same way. Gharial's not the cruise creature, so I won't get into that. But seahorses, what they do is the males are actually the ones that give birth. And then Kimbra said the females sit around and drink beer.
That's right.
Not sure about the factual part of that one, but look, seahorses, this is the way it happens. Males have a little pouch, okay? It's like a built-in pouch. And so the females will deposit the eggs into the male's pouch. He will fertilize them in his own pouch, which doesn't really sound that fun. But anyway, it's a seahorse thing. And then they will become little baby seahorses. It takes about 45 days. I think that's what it said. There's about 45 species of seahorse, by the way. And then they will come out as little baby seahorses and grow into big seahorses, which can vary quite a bit.
Unless you're a pygmy seahorse.
Right, because pygmy seahorses are very, very small. They're like less than an inch.
Yeah.
And the biggest seahorses in the world get to about, I think, 14 inches. So there's a lot of variability on your seahorse size, but most of them are probably more in the 2 to 4 inch range of the different species. Now, seahorses are weird. Okay, so that's part of why I like them, right? Because I said I don't like normal. I don't remember if I said that in the podcast or before the podcast, but anyway, I'm not usually a fan of normal. I think I said it in the podcast. Did I say that during the podcast?
I don't
Yeah.
know, but you said it
Okay,
to me.
all right, good. Otherwise, people were like, "What are you talking about?" Anyway, they're weird because, first of all, they don't have ribs. Instead, they have this weird bone kind of ring system that their scaleless skin is attached to. Yeah, they don't have scales either. They are fish, though. They are bony fish. They have a backbone. Okay, they have bones, just not like a rib cage. These ribs go down through their body, and they give it the structure of the seahorse. And then it gets weirder because the fin that they use for propulsion is actually their dorsal fin. You know, the shark fin. They swim with that. That's on their. It's like on the seahorse butt, but they swim with that. And because they're kind of like turned weird, you know, you guys know what a seahorse looks like, kind of like it got turned and then its head got bent.
It's like an awkward S.
Like yeah.
Mhm.
And then their pectoral fins, which are the fins on the side of the animal, they come off of like the cheek, and they kind of use those to steer around and stuff. So they're very strange animals. But to make them even stranger, they have a prehensile tail, which means that their tail is used to hold on to seagrass or different things where they might live, which a lot of them do live in seagrass areas. There are some that live on coral reefs. Depends on which species of seahorse you are. But then what makes them maybe the weirdest of all, and look, we've already said they get pretty weird, right, is that seahorses don't have stomachs. So they do really well on this trip with us, actually.
Yeah.
Because no stomach for the seahorse. And because of that, they have to eat almost constantly. They're eating. And they have little bitty mouths. So they're like, woo, 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 woo. And they eat by like sucking little things in, like kind of like Kimbra and boba tea, just
Oh, I love boba tea.
yeah. So what they're eating are little bitty type of things called usually things like mysid shrimp, which are kind of like sea monkeys. If you ever had sea monkeys, this is what they're eating. So they're eating constantly little things. I can tell you at the Florida aquarium where we work, we always say the most expensive animals to feed at the aquarium are actually some of our seahorses because they eat all the time and we have to ship their food in water, and water's heavy, so it costs a lot of money. Way more than like our sharks and big animals, which is what people usually think costs the most to feed. But oh no, it's the seahorse, my friends. So these are strange creatures, and they have some threats to them. So we like to kind of make people aware of some things that are not so good for our wildlife. We want to keep our cruise creatures out there. Some seahorses have all the usual threats, you know, climate change and pollution and all that stuff that's threatening every other living thing on the planet. But more specifically for seahorses is habitat loss is a big problem for them because they do live in some very specific areas. Some of them have very limited ranges. But another thing that's a real huge issue for them is they are caught as bycatch, which means that people are fishing for other things and they get caught up in nets. But the biggest threat probably to them is going to be that they are collected for either souvenirs or for medicine, especially in like Eastern medicine. And this is bad because we take way too many of these animals for this than they can sustain, their populations can sustain. And the stupid thing is that none of that matters. Like, you don't need those little curio seahorses. Please don't buy those because those seahorses are not sustained or harvested in a sustainable way. They are just pillaged out of the water. And because seahorses live in often areas that are hard to get population counts, sometimes there's not good laws to protect them because it's hard to prove that their population is definitely declining. But we pretty much know that it is in many cases. So please don't buy those kind of souvenirs. And the Eastern medicine part, which there's absolutely zero proof that is even slightly effective at all. It's supposed to cure things like, I think like it's an aphrodisiac and erectile dysfunction and this odd stuff. People used to just eat seahorses. Like that's going to solve that, okay? It's not a thing, people. Science works. That's why we have it. That's why we have cameras and stuff. don't eat seahorses. It's not going to help you with the stuff. So we need to basically not do that. So that is the big threat to seahorses. So that is your Father's Day cruise creature of the episode.
Cool.
Do you have any questions about seahorses? That's not a question. That's just you imitating yourself eating boba tea. All right. Well,
I want to point out something that right before we started the cruise creature, we were talking about our cruises, and somebody said, "What about the group cruise in October of 2022?" Sean
from the Down Under Cruisers. Yeah, look, that is far enough out. We can't plan that far out yet, but when we get to that time frame, if you're not familiar, Sean is Sean of the Down Under Cruisers. We mentioned them in the beginning and the Helping Hands for Cruising, but also, of course, Down Under Cruisers is a whole channel, and they have a group cruise that's going out of Miami in October 2022 on the Carnival Horizon.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to 2 of the ABC Islands, I believe.
Aruba, Bonaire,
Grand Turk, which is one of my favorites. Amber Cove, which is Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
And a lot of cool people are going to be on that cruise. Even Sean is going to be on there, my brother from another mother. Right? So if you're listening, that I just
they go live right after us. So they're probably off and getting ready.
They probably are, which we're going to go do after this podcast is over.
Yeah.
Head over there. So yeah, go check out their channel and think about supporting Helping Hands for Cruising.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else we got to cover?
I don't think I have anything else. Do you have anything else?
I don't. No.
Are you having fun, Mom?
I'm having a great time.
Good. Are you having fun, Reno? Reno, the dog is here too.
He loves Grandma.
Yes, he does. He's very silent right now, but also sometimes deadly, as the dog has been very gassy as of late.
Oh, there we go.
Yes.
Aruba, Bonaire, La Romana, and Amber
They're
Cove.
still here. Yeah. So go check out the Down Under Cruisers, and also we've got Tazier. I always say her name wrong. Tazier Travel, Lovey's Fat Life, Real Undies got a podcast. Go back and watch the YouTube channel. Look for all these great creators in there. Uber Cruisers are in there. Hello, Ian from Australia. Spikers Crazy Adventures. So many cool people. See the World with Chris. Lots of cool people in there. So support the family of cruisers out there. And yeah,
absolutely. All right. Well, if you don't have anything.
I got nothing.
You don't have anything?
Nothing.
Then on that note, it's time to head for the horizon. And until next time, seize the day.
Have a fantastic week, everybody. Happy Father's Day.
Thanks for joining us.
Hey, welcome back. And also, by the way, if you're still listening after the credits, happy birthday to Mallory, who is having a birthday today on the 18th of June when we're recording this.
Yes.
Happy birthday to Mallory.
How about happy birthday to you?
Thank you.
And happy birthday to Mama Sandy.
Thank you.
Whose birthday is next week.
Yes. Lots of birthdays this time of year. So that's pretty awesome. And then one more thing we want to just talk about before we just go to the chat, and that is, so I'm teaching this program, right? It's a college, it's USF, no, it's Eckerd College has a program for seniors that can go into this, sign up for these programs, and so I'm doing it virtually. It's on herpetology. So I'm here at home. I'm talking about lizards and snakes, right? So I got Kimbra here, and she's going to bring me Luna the lizard on cue and Zilly the snake on cue. So I'm like, look, I can do this from home. I was going to go into work just to teach it. And I'm like, I've got cooler snakes and lizards at home. I don't need to go into work for this. So, of course, Zilly the snake, who is a little carpet python, right before she's set to come on, she decides to crawl into the one spot in her little cage, her little terrarium, where we just cannot get to her at all without totally destroying the whole cage and pulling her out. So she is not coming out. So luckily we got a backup snake, right? So we pull out Guinness, the snake, bring out Guinness, and that was cool. And then it's time for Luna, the lizard. Now Luna, about 5 minutes before she's due to come out, she starts making a lot of noise, and she doesn't do that very often. She's usually either sleeping or basking, or if she's hungry, then she's like, letting us know that she wants to eat. Well, she got real obnoxious. Well, we fed her earlier in the day, so I knew she wasn't hungry. I'm like, I don't know what this lizard's doing. So Kimbra gets her out. She's just sitting here with her on her lap. And then all of a sudden, I'm looking over. We're like a minute or two away from Luna time. And all of a sudden, I see this look on Kimbra's face, which is just kind of this look of horror. And there were small sounds coming out of both Kimbra and Luna at this point, because Luna, the reason she was being obnoxious is she does not like to poop in her cage. She hates it. She likes to come out on the floor. We have a nice linoleum floor, vinyl floor, and she goes out there, and then we can clean it up. It's great. Well, Kimbra was holding her because, she's getting ready to go on film, lizard on camera. And so she couldn't hold it anymore, and she just let loose all over Kimbra right before. So now Kimbra has literally got, I take the lizard, right, and I'm trying to keep a straight face to do my program with Luna the lizard, but I can see out of the corner of my eye, Kimbra sitting here with her shirt like balled up like this, with like, it looked like she had like like she was a kangaroo with a jelly in there, but I know it's lizard crap, right? So, and she's just got this look at her because she can't go anywhere because I got like the green screen set up and the camera set up, so she can't get to the bathroom or anything to like clean this up until my program was over, which luckily that was the end of the program, so it was all resolved. But anyway, thanks for listening. If you're just listening in, we're going to sign off of that part now. And now we're back just to hang out and have fun for a few minutes. Thank you guys for hanging out. If anybody, hello to everybody that's been in there. Gina, and I know we said hi to Stacy. I always say hi to Stacy.
Yeah, Dan popped in.
I'm not ignoring you, Gina.
A lot of people popped in, and I think we missed them. But if you're all still here and we missed you, hello. Thanks for joining us.
What's that? Ian says, good show. We need to get Ian on here too, by the way. I have seen a leafy sea dragon on my first sea dive. Dude, I also saw a deadly blue ring octopus the same day. Oh my gosh.
That's cool.
That leafy sea dragons, if you don't know what those are, look them up right now. They are like one of the coolest looking animals on the planet. And the blue ring octopus, that either one of those would be like big time bucket checkoffs for me. That's amazing.
Dan said not to alarm you three, but there's something over your heads.
What's that dragon's name?
It doesn't have a name.
Oh, it doesn't have a name?
No.
Oh. Mike, our snake Zilly just shed the other day too.
I don't know how long she is though. We haven't measured her.
She's long.
She's getting better though. She's not as bitey. Is that an accurate representation of how long she is?
It's not, because when snakes shed their skin, it stretches out and stuff.
Right.
But yeah, here's her shed. So she's a little smaller than this, but this is about how big she is. There's the tail there. And then Luna shed. Well, she didn't shed. She's due to shed, actually.
Yeah, she sheds all the time. This shed is so funny because you can see her little legs there and her feet.
Yeah, check that out. I don't know if you can put my face in there so it focuses in the same.
There you go.
Little foot there, lizard foot. I mailed this to my mom, not this one, but she shed so much. I mailed one of these to my mom and she framed it.
It's beautiful.
Yes, Dan, it is the Ukrainian iron belly, but it doesn't have like a name. Like it's not
like an individual name.
Yeah. It's not named.
But that's cool. I didn't know it was a Ukrainian iron belly.
Yeah.
Nice.
So shed is longer than snakes. It says our corn should be 35 to 40 inches.
Yeah, Mike. So there's two reasons why your snake shed is longer than your snake. One is all those little scales on the shed skin are tucked in, which just like incrementally makes the shed longer because they spread out when the snake sheds, but also the keratin is wet and stretchy. So when the snake sheds, it's kind of got some elasticity to it. It tends to stretch it out. And then when it dries, it'll dry in that longer length. So typically I would say it can vary a little bit on snake sheds and the individual shed and stuff. But typically I'd say a snake shed is probably a quarter to a third longer than the snake is, if you see it. So if you find like a 6-foot snake shed in your yard, it's not a 6-foot snake. So, but and that's been a way that people have got some really bogus, huge snake records in the past too, is by stretching those things out and being like, look, I've got a 35-foot long snake shed. Yeah, from a 24-foot snake or something like that you carefully stretched out. But
Teacher said, I have no idea lizards shed also.
Yeah.
So reptiles, it's a thing that reptiles do. All reptiles shed.
Well,
right?
no.
No?
So alligators and crocodiles don't shed.
Oh, okay.
They're more like us with thin layers. And turtles, they're kind of weird. They kind of shed. They're a little bit like crocodilians, but you will sometimes see big scoots come off of their shell. The lizards, no, lizards straight up shed. Some of them shed at one time. Some shed piece by piece. Some of them, like certain geckos, will actually eat their shed skin. It's like a vitamin source for them.
Stacy's mom is terrified of snakes, just like mine.
It's a
Dan
common
says he showed his mom the picture that you had of the hummingbird on your finger.
Oh,
She has visiting hummingbirds too.
Oh.
And Mike says maybe he should feed more.
I mean, I don't know, but I would say
we feed Zilly about once a week.
Yeah, we feed Zilly once a week. And for a corn snake in the first, I'd say 6 months, I would probably feed that snake every 5 days or so. But then once you get into about closer to a year, I would switch to about once a week. And then it's just feeding it something a little bit thicker than the thickest part of its body is what I usually recommend. But different snakes are different, just so some of them are going to still be hungry. You can feed them a little more. Some of them don't want to eat as much. A corn snake that is from North Carolina is going to grow at a different rate than one from like Miami, because the one in Miami is not going through temperature changes. And even though yours is captive bred, there's some genetic instinct built into that. So some might be more apt to eat more often or less. What you don't want to do is you don't want to power feed a snake, because like a lot of snakes, you can get them to eat and then just keep giving them food, and that'll make them grow really fast, but it's bad for them. It'll shorten their lifespan. Sometimes it'll shorten their overall size too. But that's not really a big problem with corn snakes. It's more like people do that with like Burmese pythons and stuff. King snakes, that can be an issue with, but we always end up as the reptile.
Yeah, I know. He wants to know what the largest gator we saw at the farm was. So Maximo is the biggest.
Well, Maximo is
I know that, but Maximo is the biggest that they have.
Living.
So, okay, well, we're not talking about Gomac.
Yeah.
So Maximo is a
saltwater crocodile.
And he's 17
feet
long.
Well, I think he's 16 and a half.
Almost 17.
Because Gomac was 17 or 17 and a half. So almost Gomac size now.
Yeah, and Gomac was what, like 19 feet?
No, Gomac was 17.
17?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And Gomac was a big, huge crocodile that died in 1997, 96, somewhere in there. They had that crocodile was probably 80, 90 years old, maybe older. They taxidermied it. And this crocodile is big enough, like
he's huge.
Like Mike, you could slide down his throat.
Like,
it wouldn't even
easily
be a struggle. It just like no problem.
But he was like apparently a really chill.
Yeah.
As friendly as a crocodile could be.
Like Gomac was from Indonesia, and he was legendary in the sense that he was huge and reportedly had eaten a few people in the wild. And so he was captured. He ended up in somewhere in Indonesia for a while at a zoo attraction. Then he was in Australia for a bit. Then he got bought by somebody in Florida, and then he ended up at St. Augustine in like the 70s, I want to say. And he was so chill, like that they would just feed him, and they would just go in there with him, hold the food up, and he would just gently take it from him. Then he died, and they were like, well, we need a big crocodile. So they got Maximo. Well, Maximo is a captive bred saltwater crocodile. You think this is going to be a tamer crocodile. No, they can't do that with Maximo. Maximo tries to eat them, actively tries to eat them. So when they feed Maximo, they got to like stay by the ladder, and then they'll run up the ladder and do things like that. Pretty crazy.
Yeah, he said Chester. Well, Stacy said, does the alligator farm help with controlling the alligator population? Isn't there an overabundance of them in Florida?
So I would say no. There are enough alligators in Florida that they are sustainably hunted to a certain degree. There's probably not as many alligators in Florida now as there were historically before humans got here. I don't think that Florida's alligator population is a problem. It's not really. There are cases where alligators become nuisance alligators, not because of overpopulation, but because humans do stupid things like feed them. But that's not a result of too many alligators. That's a result of too many stupid humans. So no, it's not really a problem. The alligator farm helps in controlling alligator population only in the sense that they're an educational institution. Historically, they were an alligator farm, but they're an AZA, so they're like a member of the American Zoo and Aquarium Association. They are 100% conservation organization. They do have a lot of alligators, but like I mentioned, they have all the species of crocodilians in the world, and there's a ton of research that goes on there. I got to do Croc School there in 2017, which is basically a thing you can do if you're part of the AZA, and I got to spend a week there. It was like 10 hours a day of crocodilian stuff. It was hands-on as well as like lectures, and it was just like crocodilian heaven for me. So it was just like I got to meet all these people that, like, I've read scientific papers from these people. I've read books from these people. I've seen them in documentaries, and I'm like hanging out, drinking a beer with them, talking about crocodiles. It was awesome. But they're associated with that institution because there's so much conservation and research that has come out of that, and it gets funded by that. Like, they are the only place in the United States that has ever successfully bred gharials, and they've only got one baby, but they're the only place that's managed to do that. So, and that's just one example of many, many, many things that they have accomplished. So, pretty cool place if you're a crocodilian nerd.
And Chester, is that the dog eating one?
Chester is a dog-eating American alligator that was captured in Clearwater, Florida. Chester is 14 feet. So, Mike, Maximo is, I wouldn't say tons bigger than Chester, but big enough that you would notice a difference. Let's just say that. Significantly bigger than Chester. But, I mean, yeah, Chester's 14 feet. And Maximo 17 or 16 and a half feet, 17 feet, somewhere in that area. And as big as Chester for that size.
Yeah.
So.
And Dan saw Johnston's crocodile in Vegas.
That's cool. We saw babies, Dan. They had baby John. Those are freshies, freshwater crocodiles. You don't know, freshwater crocodiles
and
in
little
Australia.
Bitty, like they were
so cute.
With their tail, they were probably this big.
They got narrow little snouts.
Oh, they're cute.
They only get about 6 feet long, usually 4 to 6 feet long on average. And they're the ones that they're in a little bit drier area, so they're not terrestrial, they're not land crocodiles, but they're on land more often, and they can like gallop. Like, there's videos of them like galloping. I want to say they go. I want to say it's 11. They can run like 11 miles per hour for a sustained amount of time, which is really fast. So pretty cool. But they're small. The big ones can't do that because they're big. So they can't support all that weight and stuff like that. What's happening?
I'm doing a thing.
Suddenly we went out of StreamYard.
No. We're still in StreamYard. I'm just
There's you with the turtle.
Are you copying a? Can you share that? Oh, you are? Okay. She's going to share the screen from the alligator farm. What was kind of cool is the girl who is the photographer who did this tour with us.
Oh, you can see the whole thing. I don't want to see the whole thing.
She is the daughter of the guy that is their main like crocodilian keeper now, which was pretty awesome.
Oh, can I just?
She's like, this is my summer job. So
I just want to do this. Come on, just let me do this.
Bear with us. Kimbra's trying to bring up. Probably most of the people on here have seen this picture already.
Probably.
But if you're watching in the future and you're not part of the
I
Fintastic
just don't want it to
Cruising
be.
community, just throw it into the thing. Just throw it into the pictures and
Oh yeah.
put it up.
That's one of these.
There you go.
There. Aha.
There we go.
There we go.
Well, it was also in our. It was literally the thumbnail.
Oh, that.
was
Well,
the
this
four of
one
us.
wasn't. It was the four of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was.
Big shell babies.
Love getting its neck scratched.
Oh, makes me so happy. Okay.
It was pretty cool.
I'm sure everybody saw those pictures, but it makes me happy, so I
Oh,
have to share
cool.
it again.
Mike has said they're getting ready to edit the Tampa Aquarium trip and Gatorland from their trip.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, check out Lovey's Fat Life.
Oh, the birds. We didn't talk about the birds.
Oh yeah, we did.
Oh my
goodness,
gosh,
yes. Tell them about the birds.
So it was, I guess, nesting time.
Breeding or nesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, for all the birds. So when we got to like the boardwalk area with all the trees and stuff and the alligators, like I honestly don't even think I looked at the alligators because of all the birds.
There were a lot of birds.
But they were nesting, so they had all the babies. We saw baby spoonbills.
Little tiny ones.
It was cool. Like we went
Yeah.
to Gatorland, I think at the end of April, hoping to see that, and we didn't. Apparently, it happens in June.
Well, when I did Croc School, it was April, and I was at St. Augustine, and there was quite a few birds nesting.
Was it as many as what we saw?
Maybe.
Because that was a lot.
It might have been. It was close. So I thought we went to Gatorland in April because they do the same thing there. I thought, well, they'll be there, but they weren't, and so I guess they're a little later there.
Yeah.
But yeah, both places have like a breeding marsh. They call it the breeding marsh. It's like a boardwalk over an area with a lot of alligators, and there's like cypress trees growing around all these. So the birds nest there, and there's a reason that they do that. If you're a baby bird in a nest, you are very vulnerable to like raccoons and possums and snakes and all these things that can climb up into a tree and eat a baby bird. So one of the ways that a lot of Florida birds like herons and egrets and spoonbills and stuff, one of the ways that they can help have a better chance their babies won't get eaten is by building nests over active alligator areas, because those animals can't get to the tree because they'll get eaten by the alligators. There is a price to be paid, though. If one of those falls in, the alligators get fed. And here's one of those research tidbits I was talking about, that this was research at the St. Augustine Alligator Farm and the Madras Crocodile Bank in India, is that mugger crocodiles in India and American alligators will sit in the water during this breeding time, and they will get sticks on their nose, and they'll sit there with these sticks on their nose, and they're doing this on purpose. And what they're doing is they're trying to tempt the birds to come get these sticks. And the birds, there's a lot of competition for sticks, so they get really bold, and so they will come down and take chances to get the sticks, and the alligators get free chicken. So this is something that's been studied very intensely recently, and it's pretty much accepted now as this is what's actually happening. It's not a coincidence that the alligator's got a stick on its nose. Like, they're pretty sure this is intentional, which is tool use in a reptile, which is just crazy cool. But working with them, I mean, they're smart. It doesn't surprise me at all, really.
Stacy wants to know if we did the zip line. We did not.
No. Just because I don't know. I'm not a big zipline fan.
Me either.
Ian says bucket list includes the Galapagos Islands. Yeah, you and me both, Ian.
Yeah.
I want to go to the Galapagos Islands. I want to see the marine iguanas. I want to see the tortoises. Yeah.
Dan says we got to pet a guitar fish, which I'm told are not rays but look like them. How so?
So guitar fish are elasmobranchs. They're in the same group of animals as rays and sharks. They're kind of, I always say they're kind of like a combination of a ray and a shark. We used to have a guitar fish at the science center I worked at in the touch tank, and people would always say, "Is that electric?" And I'd say, "No, it's acoustic." But they're not electric. And they don't have a stinging barb or anything like that. But they do have a mouth underneath their body, so they're almost like you took a shark and squished it into a stingray. But they are technically different because there are like angel sharks, which are in the shark group, which are actually sharks, and they are kind of flattened too. But yeah, taxonomically speaking, they are not actually rays or sharks.
It's the baby spoonbills.
They're so cute.
Yeah.
And those have been there for a few weeks because they've already got a little pink on them.
Mm-hmm.
And that only comes from eating the shrimp and stuff with the beta carotene in it.
And then we have Ian says his bucket list is to go to the Galapagos, and then Mike says, aren't they known for great whites visiting there as well?
I'm sure great whites are in that area, Mike, because it's cold water and that's what they like. Mm-hmm. But it's not a place that you hear about problems, probably mostly because there aren't that many humans in the water there. So there's not a lot of opportunity for them to make mistakes. But there are like seal or seal-like animals over there that the great whites would feed on. But yeah, it's not one that I really hear about. But I'm sure they're in that area. But what did Ian say? They're only.
Oh.
He said, white pointers are only scary if you get bitten. There you go. See, and it's unlikely. Even in Australia, your odds are still. It's unlikely you'll be bitten.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
should we wrap it up?
I think we should because it's late. And we had a busy day of doing nothing.
Well, all right. Then thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us. Go check out the Down Under Cruisers.
We might pop over there for a little bit.
Probably for a few minutes.
Yeah.
And, have a good week. Happy Father's Day if you're a father. Happy Father's Day to your father if you're not a father because you have a father. So
yeah. Oh, Mike, tell Anthony to get reading Harry Potter because I'm going to fly through the book.
That's right.
Oh, and I didn't get a wand, which I told him I was going to do.
She almost did.
I did many
close.
times.
But we have passes. We'll go back.
Yeah. Right. Bye.
Bye.
See you guys.